The New York Yankees have made a move that has stirred up a mix of reactions among fans and analysts alike, trading away first base prospect T.J. Rumfield. For many, Rumfield was a player with potential, someone who could have developed into a solid contributor in the coming years. However, the reality is that opportunities at the major league level were scarce for him with the Yankees, and this trade opens a door to a new chapter for both him and the team. In exchange for Rumfield, the Yankees acquired a young relief pitcher from the Colorado Rockies, 23-year-old Annel Shively. There's a bit of uncertainty around the pronunciation of his name, and while it may not roll off the tongue immediately, the potential he brings to the mound is clear. Standing 6 feet 2 inches tall and weighing 162 pounds, Shively may not have the most impressive statistics from last season, but his profile is intriguing for a team willing to develop talent. Last year, he struggled with a 7.06 earned run average over 43 appearances, pitching a total of 58 2/3 innings, striking out 43 batters, and recording a 1.688 whip. While these numbers are far from dominant, there are several positives that make this acquisition worth noting. One of the most important aspects is that Shively comes with multiple years of team control, potentially 5 years, which gives the Yankees time to shape him into a reliable arm. At 23 years old, he has a fastball that can touch 97 miles per hour, a solid whiff rate, and a ground ball profile that suggests he could thrive if guided correctly. Control remains an area for improvement, but that is precisely where someone like Matt Blake comes into play. Known for his ability to develop project pitchers, Blake has a track record of turning raw talent into usable pieces at the major league level. For a pitcher like Shively, who has flashes of electric stuff but struggles with consistency, Blake might be the perfect coach to refine his mechanics and approach. The Yankees are not giving up a major league-ready player in Rumfield, but rather a prospect who likely had limited opportunities with the organization. So the risk here is relatively low compared to the upside of potentially unlocking a high-velocity, high-ceiling arm. The strategy here reflects a pattern the Yankees have embraced in recent seasons, a willingness to acquire project players with high upside rather than relying solely on established talent. This approach has been seen with other young pitchers, such as Cade Winquist, acquired in the Rule 5 draft, who also throws with high velocity, and Don Hamill, picked up on waivers, showing a continued interest in developing pitchers with raw skills. While these moves bring potential, they also highlight a question for the Yankees' bullpen depth. Currently, the top 3 arms in the bullpen, David Bednar, Camilo Doval, and Fernando Cruz, are solid, but beyond that, options are less certain. Players like Jake Bird, Paul Blackburn, Brent Hedrick, Tim Hill, and Ryan Weathers fill out the rest of the roster, each with varying levels of reliability. The concern is that the team could end up with a bullpen that relies heavily on project pitchers, which is exciting for development, but carries the risk of inconsistency at the major league level. Still, acquiring Shively is not a move that threatens the team's immediate competitiveness. Rather, it's an investment in the future that could pay dividends if everything clicks. Shifting gears to infield prospects, there have been rumors regarding the Yankees' interest in C.J. Abrams, a young player from the Washington Nationals. Abrams had a season with mixed results, posting a batting average around 250 and a 740 OPS, along with 19 home runs. While his offensive production shows potential, there are concerns about his defensive abilities at shortstop. Abrams is left-handed at the plate, which could fit the Yankees' preference for balancing their lineup with left-handed bats, but his defensive shortcomings raise questions about where he would fit into the team's roster. Some suggest that the Nationals may be looking to move him as part of a larger strategy, but when evaluating a player like Abrams, it's crucial to ask why a team would trade away a young talent with offensive upside. The Yankees' interest appears measured, and while Abrams is undoubtedly talented, he may not be the perfect solution for the team's immediate needs, particularly if defensive stability is a priority. In addition to these potential additions, the Yankees are also exploring the return of Paul Goldschmidt, who had a strong start of last season but cooled off as the year progressed. Goldschmidt proved himself against left-handed pitching and offered versatility at first base, but his production later in the season was inconsistent. From June onward, his OPS against left-handed pitching dropped significantly. indicating some regression compared to his early season performance. Despite this, he would likely be a cost-effective acquisition for the Yankees, with estimates suggesting a $4 to $5 million price range for a player of his experience. This presents an opportunity for the team to bring back a familiar face who can provide depth and serve as a right-handed bat option, potentially strengthening the lineup without a major investment. His familiarity with the organization could make the transition seamless, and for a team focused on balancing veteran experience with developing talent, this could be a practical addition to the roster. Then there's Jasson Dominguez, a player who has consistently been ranked among the top 50 prospects in baseball since his signing with the Yankees. Despite an underwhelming season last year, Dominguez remains a player with immense upside, only 22 years old and turning 23 by the start of the next season. Some reports suggested that other major league teams did not value him as highly as the Yankees, but historical rankings and scouting reports indicate otherwise. Dominguez has been recognized as a top prospect by multiple organizations, signaling that the talent is evident and widely acknowledged across the league. The key for the Yankees is patience, giving him the time and development resources to reach his potential. At his age, there is still ample room for growth, and with proper coaching and opportunities, Dominguez could evolve into a cornerstone player for the franchise. The narrative around his performance last year should not overshadow the promise that remains. He is young, talented, and capable of significant improvement. The Yankees' strategy in these moves reflects a clear philosophy of balancing immediate needs with long-term development. Whether through project pitchers like Shively and Winquest or evaluating offensive options like Abrams and Goldschmidt, the organization is clearly attempting to create a roster that has depth, flexibility, and potential for growth. Each acquisition, each interest expressed in a player, demonstrates a willingness to take calculated risks while keeping an eye on sustainability and future performance. The key for the organization will be execution, developing young pitchers effectively, integrating returning veterans smoothly, and making strategic decisions about roster construction that align with both short-term competitiveness and long-term goals. Matt Blake's influence on the pitching staff is significant. Known for his ability to take pitchers with high velocity but inconsistent command and turn them into effective bullpen options, Blake's approach relies on careful coaching, detailed mechanical adjustments, and an emphasis on pitch selection. For a player like Shively, who has the raw tools but struggles with control, this kind of coaching could unlock serious potential. The Yankees have shown in the past that they are willing to take these calculated risks, often acquiring players who may have struggled elsewhere, but who fit the profile of someone who can thrive under proper guidance. While the numbers from last season for Shively are far from impressive, a 7.06 ERA and a 1.688 WHIP, the combination of youth, velocity, and team control makes him a valuable investment. This approach is not without precedent. Other young arms acquired in similar fashion have gone on to make meaningful contributions, which suggests that the Yankees' development system is capable of extracting talent that might otherwise go unnoticed. Offensively, the Yankees are exploring their options, evaluating players like C.J. Abrams and Paul Goldschmidt to strengthen the lineup. Abrams' performance last season demonstrated both potential and areas for concern. A left-handed bat with power and speed, he contributed 19 home runs, but struggled with defensive consistency at shortstop. While the Yankees have a history of seeking out left-handed hitting, Abrams' defensive limitations complicate his fit within the team's roster. It is clear that the Yankees are carefully weighing whether acquiring him aligns with their overall strategy, especially given the need for defensive stability. The organization must balance the desire for offensive production with the necessity of strong fielding, particularly in key positions like shortstop, where defensive lapses can have a significant impact on game outcomes. Abrams' situation highlights the challenge of evaluating young talent. Raw statistics provide insight, but context and fit within the broader team structure are equally crucial. Paul Goldschmidt, on the other hand, represents a different type of acquisition. Having already played for the Yankees, he brings familiarity with the organization and its expectations. Last season, Goldschmidt started strong, demonstrating the kind of offensive prowess that made him a valuable player early in the year, but his performance waned as the season progressed, particularly in the second half. Against left-handed pitching, his OPS dropped noticeably, signaling some regression. Despite this, he offers versatility, capable of playing first base while providing a right-handed bat to balance the lineup. Financially, a return for $4 to $5 million would make him a cost-effective addition, allowing the Yankees to supplement their roster with experience and skill without a major investment. The potential for a smooth transition back into the team, combined with his previous success, makes Goldschmidt a practical option for strengthening both depth and flexibility within the lineup. The development of prospects remains central to the Yankees' vision, particularly with players like Jasson Dominguez. Though last season may have fallen short of expectations, Dominguez's track record as a top 50 prospect demonstrates that the talent is undeniable. At just 22 years old, turning 23 by opening day, he has the tools to make a significant impact if given the opportunity and proper coaching. Reports suggesting that other major league teams undervalued him do not align with the reality of prospect rankings, which consistently placed him among the top players in baseball. Patience and strategic development are key, and the Yankees system, which has a history of nurturing young talent, is well-positioned to maximize Dominguez's potential. The narrative around his recent struggles should not overshadow his ability to contribute meaningfully in the near future. The organization appears committed to providing him with the resources and opportunities necessary to succeed, a strategy that reflects both foresight and confidence in their development pipeline. Evaluating the Yankees' overall approach, it is clear that the team is taking a nuanced view of roster construction, blending immediate needs with long-term potential. Acquiring project pitchers and considering players with mixed offensive and defensive profiles suggests a willingness to innovate while maintaining a focus on competitive performance. The balance between high-upside prospects and experienced players is delicate, and the decisions made during this offseason will shape the team's depth, flexibility, and performance for the coming season. Every move reflects a careful calculation, assessing risk, weighing potential upside, and identifying areas where coaching and development can turn raw talent into effective contributions. This approach is emblematic of the Yankees' philosophy, which has long emphasized the importance of combining strategic acquisitions with internal development to create a roster capable of competing at the highest level. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. The baseball world woke up buzzing after a bold headline began circulating through clubhouses and social media. Jose Ramirez is a Yankee. Official or not, the phrase landed like a thunderclap, instantly igniting debate, excitement, and skepticism in equal measure. Around the league, executives and scouts are treating it not as a sealed announcement, but as the loudest whisper of a move that could redefine the balance of power. Sources close to the situation suggest that the Yankees have been quietly positioning themselves for a blockbuster, monitoring every possible opening to add a true franchise cornerstone to the heart of their lineup. Ramirez, long admired for his rare blend of power, speed, and baseball IQ, fits that profile perfectly. The idea of him wearing pinstripes has been floated before, usually dismissed as fantasy. This time, however, the tone feels different, heavier, as if momentum is building behind the scenes. What fuels the speculation is not a single leaked document or a public statement, but a pattern of subtle signals. Conversations that once stalled have reportedly been reopened. Financial flexibility, prospect depth, and a sense of urgency to deliver a statement move all appear to be aligning. Insiders describe an atmosphere where nothing is guaranteed, yet nothing is off the table either. For Yankees fans, the rumor represents more than a potential acquisition. It hints at a philosophical shift, a willingness to gamble big on a player who could instantly become the emotional and competitive axis of the team. For rivals, it raises uneasy questions about how to counter a lineup that might soon look even more intimidating. Until pens meet paper, the story remains suspended between hope and hype. Still, in baseball, rumors of this magnitude rarely emerge without reason. Whether the headline proves prophetic or premature, one thing is certain. The mere possibility of Jose Ramirez becoming a Yankee has already altered the conversation across the sport. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.